didn't know I was half Dominican until I got older. They broke it to me like it was bad news. I've talked about the differences of Latinos. One thing we all have in common, we love our grandmothers. You remember when your grandmother turned 40? I do. Through this journey, I had an opportunity to go to the Dominican Republic and meet my father for the first time. We sat in a restaurant. Every time a woman walked in, he'd be like, "That's your sister." He was so generous, he gave us each our own mothers. He was like, "Oprah, you get a mother, you get a mother."
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Up first today, as one of the most influential comics on the scene, Miami native Aida Rodriguez has used laughter and unyielding fierceness to educate and bring awareness to a myriad of different issues facing marginalized groups and people of color. In her new HBO Max comedy special, Fighting Words, she continues that legacy. And it's my pleasure to welcome her to Inside South Florida this morning.
It's my pleasure to be here. That's home. I love Miami.
Oh, hey, Miami loves you back. And we are loving this comedy special. It's your first solo comedy special. I'm shocked even saying that. How's life?
It's good. I'm in New York right now. I'm doing press for Fighting Words. And it feels good to hear people saying that they got it, that they felt it, and that they saw themselves in it. That's really, really key.
The name, Fighting Words, what's in the title?
So it's funny because I was talking about some of the jokes that I was writing, and a friend of mine his name is Charles Coleman Jr., who is a civil rights attorney. I was going over some of the jokes with him, right? I had to go over the jokes with the comedians, the woke patrol, like everybody, right?
Yeah, the woke patrol.
And he was like, dang, those sound like fighting words to me. And I was like, you know what? I like that. And then I decided to name it Fighting Words.
You had secured this special in 2019. How did the set change to mimic and to mirror what we've been through collectively over the last 22 months?
Yeah, it was, I got the special, I got happy, I started celebrating, and then I remember being in Canada and being afraid of not being able to come home because we thought COVID was like, we were like, oh, this thing is happening, whatever. Then I got back and the lockdown happened, and everything that I thought was going to happen immediately became something that I didn't know if it was going to happen actually at all. I decided to write about a lot of the things that were happening that we were experiencing that didn't have to do with COVID, because I just felt that it was important to talk about what was underneath what was, the obvious was, the washing of the hands. And I'm sure many comedians did jokes about that kind of stuff. But all of the stuff that was happening with the uprisings and, the climate and just all of the things that were happening. And as I wrote about them personally in my journal, it just evolved into jokes. I just decided to write, and I'm glad I did, because then I was able to write about some things that were really, that really hit home for some people.
Hit home for a lot of people, Aida. You've taken on the responsibility to, and unapologetically, to educate the masses on everything from colorism to racism to women's rights. And you've also been attacked online by the woke police, as you mentioned earlier, for those sentiments. Does that responsibility, Aida, does it get heavy?
Of course it does. It gets really heavy. Yeah, so much that even in the special, I said, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore because you people are exhausting. Because a catch-22, you can't win for losing, right? If you talk about it and make a mistake, which most people will make mistakes because we're all imperfect, you get in trouble. But then if you don't talk about it, you hear people like, I'll go to like J-Lo's Instagram page sometimes, and it'll be people like, I can't believe you're not talking about the military in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, whoa, so if you don't talk about it, you get in trouble. And if you do talk about it, you get in trouble. So you got to make a decision about who you want to be.
One of the most illuminating, and I would say viscerally compelling parts of your special was where you finally met your father as an adult for the first time. When you watch it back now, how do you feel? What goes through your mind?
I cringe because I relive that moment every single time, which is why I wanted to document it documented. I wanted to see it outside of myself because while I was experiencing it, it was very hard to have a grasp on it. I hadn't processed it yet, which is why I wanted Nadia Hallgren, the director, who is also Afro-Latina from Puerto Rican and the Bronx, to take the journey with me. You know, it was important for me to do it because I feel like those experiences are something that a lot of people can relate to. We're so trapped by our shame with regards to those types of things that we don't heal. And a lot of those things manifest themselves in very toxic behaviors from all of us. So I just wanted to normalize it a little bit, to just take the romantic notion of meeting your father being this whole new thing, that your life is just, you just meet this rescuer. I just wanted to give people some grace and let them see what it looked like. Use my platform to say, you're not alone. It's okay. We're going to be all right. And it happens to the best of us.
When we look at this comedy special, Fighting Words, Aida Rodriguez, when we experience it, what do you want the audience? What do you want our Afro-Latina brothers and sisters, marginalized groups, anyone watching this, what do you want them to extract from the special and walk away with?
I want people to say, I want to tell my story. I want to inspire everybody to tell their story. And everybody doesn't have to be Quentin Tarantino. Everybody doesn't have to be Kevin Hart. But right where you are, you know, give a voice, give a face to your story, normalize our stories. And I want people to know that it's okay to be imperfect, because I mean, we all are. And I just wanted people to laugh. I wanted them to feel, and I wanted them to know that I'm standing here on the stage, but I'm right there with you.
We're throwing up Black Lives Matter signs during the marches, and they only put up them signs so that nobody would break their windows. And marching up our street, Lucille, throw the sign up. Hurry up, hurry up. I don't want to be woke. They're always, oh, words hurt. I'm like, so do uppercuts, bitch. Learn how to block. Too much truth for you tonight.